Good evening. On behalf of the Classic Legacy Band, I am happy to welcome you to our annual holiday concert. We have an exciting selection of tunes for you this evening, some of which are holiday standards that you'll recognize, and others that will be new music for your ears, including the world premiere of a piece that I will tell you more about later. I'm Sarah Beth Q. I'll be your master of ceremonies tonight. To kick off our concert, we have an overture of holiday songs written by Stephen Bulla, who's the current chief arranger for the President's Own U.S. Marine Band and the White House Orchestra. In this role, Bulla is responsible for producing music in countless styles and instrumental combinations, and you will hear evidence of that in this piece. The Proclamation of Christmas includes several popular Christmas tunes, such as Hark, the Herald Angels Sing, Ding Dong Merrily on High, The First Noel, While Shepherds Watched Their Flocks, Angels from the Realms of Glory, and O Come All Ye Faithful. Now, please join me in welcoming to the podium the conductor of the Classic Legacy Band, Mr. David Fitz. Mannheim Steamroller was founded in 1974 in Omaha, Nebraska by percussionist and composer Chip Davis. The group's name is a reference to an 18th century German musical technique, Mannheimer Waltz, popularized by the Mannheim School of Composition. Mannheimer Waltz involves a melodic passage that gradually increases in volume over a repeated bass line. The group Mannheim Steamroller has produced and recorded music blending several genres, including neoclassical, new age, and progressive rock. But it is probably most well known for its contemporary arrangements of Christmas and holiday music. In fact, the group has recorded and produced a record 26 Christmas albums. That is a lot of Christmas music. In the interest of time, we're just going to play one of the many Chip Davis arrangements recorded by Mannheim Steamroller. Please sit back and enjoy Away in a Manger, which was adapted for concert band by Robert Longfield.
Can you hear me? Oh, yeah, you can. You don't get to listen to me talk very often because I prefer not to. But it's Christmas story time. So a few years ago, this ragtag little trombone player walked into a legacy band rehearsal one night and said to me, hi, my name, I'll not give you his name just yet, but he came in and he said, I haven't played trombone in a long time, and I was wondering if you could use a trombone player, and if you'd give me a chance. Now, he tells a whole different story than I'm telling you. I'm just telling you the abbreviated version of it. And I said, do you have your horn with you? And he said, yep. And I said, go get it, and jump in and see what happens. So he went and got his horn, and he jumped in, and he sat through the first rehearsal, and yeah, there was a little rust, but it was adequate. So I said, keep coming back. The thing that's really impressive about this gentleman is he took it incredibly seriously. He started taking private lessons. He did some online lessons during COVID. He has worked so hard to become a really fine trombone player, and not only our group, but in the Mid-Michigan Brass Band as well. We are so excited to see, number one, this crowd, because, wow, we've never had this many musicians up here. And we really appreciate all your support for this band. And the reason I'm telling you this little Christmas story is because, Mark, would you stand up, please? This is our ragtag little trombone player, Mark Abbey. And we not only have so many generous donors that are sitting here in the audience, but we have members of the band who donate music and help us finance this thing so that we can bring this music to you. Mark came to me back, what was it, Mark, a couple months ago? Yeah, something like that. And he says, hey, what do you need? And I said, well, more than any of us can afford, but he says, no, seriously, I want to buy a couple instruments for the band. And so we talked about it a little bit, and one of the things that we have been missing that we really needed were some keyboard instruments, xylophone in particular. Marimba we would like too, but we don't have any place to store it. So we settled for a xylophone, and then he said, well, what else do you want? Well, up there you will see a gold bass drum. Unfortunately, post-COVID, everything in the music industry is back-ordered, which has frustrated me like crazy. There is a new bass drum coming to us as well. And Mark generously donated those to the band, and we appreciate that so much. Mark, you have to make sure you give this back to Todd at the end of the concert. But we are putting on both the xylophone and the bass drum, donated by Mark Abbey, October 2022, CLB member since 2015. Thank you, Mark. We appreciate your donation and your hard work.
One of the iconic holiday images many of us have, especially in colder climates like Michigan, is curling up next to a warm fire with a blanket and some hot cocoa. It's this image that Sammy Nestico conjured when he arranged A Fireside Christmas, a collection of popular Christmas tunes including I'll Be Home for Christmas, A Christmas Song, Frosty the Snowman, and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Nestico was an American composer and arranger, best known for his arrangements for the Count Basie Orchestra. He also had a long career in film and television, orchestrating music for shows you may have heard of, like Mission Impossible, MASH, and Charlie's Angels, and the movie The Color Purple, in addition to commercial jingles for major corporations like the Ford Motor Company, Dodge, and Mattel Toys. Nestico was a huge proponent of music education, and his extensive list of compositions and arrangements includes many that are appropriate for school bands at various levels. Sadly, we lost Sammy Nestico in 2021 at the age of 96, but his legacy lives on in his music, and A Fireside Christmas is a perfect example. O Holy Night has been called the most popular Christmas solo song ever written by several music publishers. This arrangement by Calvin Custer artfully weaves the tonal colors and sonorities available in concert band instrumentation. A graduate of Carnegie Mellon University and Syracuse University, Custer spent a majority of his career with the Syracuse Symphony, where he started the chamber ensemble program that held in its mission outreach to local schools and support for music in public education. His arrangements for orchestra and concert band are prolific, including this moving, emotional arrangement of Adolph Charles Adams' O Holy Night. of the challenges music directors have in programming holiday concerts is finding a wide enough variety of music and arrangements so that audiences and musicians who often play or attend several holiday concerts in a given season don't have to listen to the same music over and over. Nothing solves that problem better than a world premiere piece, and we have a fantastic one for you tonight. Eric Schroeder holds a bachelor's degree in music education from the University of Michigan and is a band director in Detroit. His career as a composer began during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, and Make Room for Joy, the piece you will hear tonight, was one of several he composed during that period. Of this piece, Schroeder writes, quote, "Make room for joy is a simple message, but one I'm not always good at taking to heart. Filling my days to the brim and running myself ragged is a way of life, and one that often leaves me feeling more exhausted than fulfilled. I know I'm not alone in that. Finding happiness, positivity, and exuberance is a complex, multifaceted journey, and the first step for me is making an active choice, setting aside a little time each day to revel in whatever joyous things came my way has made all the difference. Make Room for Joy embodies the relentless pursuit for a positive outlook and optimism. From the bouncy opening themes to the slower ballads to the bombastic finish, this piece embodies the standard I strive to hold." End quote. You are the first audience to hear this piece performed. Please enjoy. That was Eric Schroeder, if you didn't catch that. We will now take a 15-minute intermission. The tickets for the silent auction will be on sale during the intermission, but sales will end as soon as the band begins their first piece after intermission. So, get your tickets. Information for the winners will be announced at the end of the concert, so stick around. We'll see you in 15. Welcome back. Although he has written many works not associated with holidays, Leroy Anderson, a graduate of Harvard University and later its band director, is probably best known for his compositions and arrangements played at Christmas time. The next selection is a medley of popular holiday songs, including Joy to the World, Deck the Halls, God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, Good King Wenceslas, Hark the Herald Angels Sing Again, Silent Night, Jingle Bells, and Adeste Fideles. Sing along as the Classic Legacy Band plays Leroy Anderson's A Christmas Festival. songs that today we associate with December holidays were originally secular pieces with no holiday connection at all. A classic example is the original song that became the basis of the popular Christian holiday tune, "What Child Is This?" And that original song is Greensleeves. The melody we associate with these two songs is possibly the oldest secular piece of music for which we have any documentary evidence. It can be traced back to the early 14th century, making it over 700 years old today. The arrangement you are about to hear was written by Alfred Reed. Reed has over 200 compositions and arrangements for concert band, orchestra, chorus, and smaller chamber groups, and he was one of the nation's most prolific and frequently performed composers. He studied at the Juilliard School and spent many years as a professor of music at the University of Miami. One of my favorite holiday memories of playing in University Wind Ensemble was the opportunity to play under the baton of Alfred Reed as a guest conductor. I hope you enjoy this arrangement of Greensleeves as much as I do. Although there is no I in team, there is one member of Santa's team of reindeer who has commandeered more attention than the others, partly because he creatively turns what other reindeer feel is a hindrance, his red nose, into an advantage. I'm talking, of course, about Rudolph, a fictional reindeer created by Robert May in 1939. In 1949, Johnny Marks wrote a song commemorating this process, and it is the first tune of the medley of Johnny Marks songs you will hear next. Another Johnny Marks tune in this medley was made popular by Brenda Lee in 1958. She recorded the rockabilly holiday song Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree at the age of 13, and although it took a few years to gain popularity, it became a top 100 song in 1960 and hit number 3 on the Billboard Christmas Singles Chart by 1965. Rudolph and Rocket Around the Christmas Tree are both featured in the film Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Also by Johnny Marks, but a change from these fun, upbeat tunes, is the song I Heard the Bells on Christmas Day. The lyrics for this song first appeared in a poem written by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow in 1863. Longfellow heard church bells on Christmas Day during the American Civil War, which inspired the poem. But in the poem, he lamented the horrors and death and war. I'm not going to dampen the holiday spirit we're enjoying today by reciting those lyrics. But a more joyful version of this song was arranged by Johnny Marks in 1956, later made famous by Bing Crosby, thank you, Bing, and now today is performed in this medley by the Classic Legacy Band. Please enjoy Rudolph's Christmas Concert. The next piece, O Magnum Mysterium, was composed by Morten Lorentzen, but the arrangement you will hear today was written by a composer with Michigan roots. For 26 years, Robert Reynolds served as the director of university bands at the University of Michigan and conducted the Detroit Chamber Winds. Lorentzen approved of Reynolds' arrangement of his work, a musical depiction of the birth of Jesus. Lorentzen wrote, "This affirmation of God's grace to the meek and the adoration of the Blessed Virgin are celebrated in my setting through a quiet song of pure inner joy. We invite you to reflect on your own inner joy as the band plays Robert Reynolds' arrangement of O Magnum Mysterium." I'd now like to introduce the president of the Classic Legacy Band, Mr. Todd Schwaneke.
Thank you, Sarah Beth. Oh, I got to catch my breath after that one. I just wanted to acknowledge and thank a lot of the people who helped make all this possible with the band. There is just a lot to be thankful for, especially this time of year. First on the list, Peace Lutheran Church here. What a facility. They do so much for us. Number one, each week we have rehearsals here, back there in the gym where we have this, where we have the silent auction. Plus, we get to store all of our equipment down here, plus our library of 700 pieces down there. And of course, our Christmas concerts that we've been having here for a number of years now, and it's just a beautiful sanctuary, especially with all the Christmas decorations. Thank you very much, Peace Lutheran Church, for all you do. One of the other things that Peace does for us, and we did it last year and we're doing it this year, it is being live streamed. So we welcome everybody watching on the internet. So I know I've had a few comments. I talked to the guys back there, Jeff. We've had people from Indiana, from as far away as nice sunny Florida. Even those I know that are watching at home who are not able to be here for various reasons. And yes, my wife is one of them who should be in the band, but she is sick. So, hi, Lynn. Just to embarrass her. Anyways, but last year, within 2 weeks' time, because it does go on YouTube afterwards, so if you want to watch this yourselves later on as an encore performance, by all means, check it out. It's either on Peace's website or you can look it up on YouTube. Just Google Classic Legacy Band, you should find it. But we had, within 2 weeks, 800 views already, so that was a lot. Considering there's well over 200 people here, there's even more that watch it others. Yeah. So thank you back there, Jeff, and everyone else helping out there. We also have many people that have donated to the band. If you look in your programs, and yes, I know, didn't make enough because it's just such a large showing here, but there's many generous individuals, organizations, and companies that have donated to us. So I would like to thank all of them, and you can help support us by supporting them. One of the other big donators is back there in our silent auction there. Once again, you'll notice in the program there's a list of many different individuals and organizations that have donated to us. So we'd like to thank all those people who have donated, and thank you for buying tickets to help support us as well. There's over 93 items back there that hopefully you can win. So good luck. And we most certainly want to thank you, our listening audience. Whether you're here or at home listening away, thank you all very much for your support. You are why we play. There's also another group of people I personally want to thank, and that is the board. There's so much that has to be done behind the scenes rather than just playing here the music. And I would like to acknowledge them if they could please stand. Our Vice President, Dr. Greg Brown, Secretary Carol Casale, Treasurer Connie Radomir, Librarian Jennifer Griffins, our Assistant Librarian Rachel Robbins, Personnel Lynn Schwaneke, stand up at home, Lynn. Okay. And two very important people that put on the silent auction amongst all their minions back there is Dana Armbruster and Lisa Bale for promotions. Thank you very much. And even though they are board members, there's a lot of other people in the band that help. Two people I would like to pick on in particular, because there's a large makeup of people in the band, people from high school, retirees, and all sorts in between, including various band directors. Two of which particular in our group is Chris Deming, the band director at Swan Valley High School, and Dustin Vandeveer, the band director at Bay City Western. Gentlemen, if you could stand, please. Besides their musical talents that they share with us, they have offered They're students. They come here, some of their more talented ones have come in here and play. Dave mentioned such a large group. He's right. As long as I've been with the group, like 40-some years, folks, we've never had a turnout like this. And part of it's due to Chris and Dustin being able to get these. The group originally started basically just for high schoolers, and yes, I was one of them, who did start with the group. And it's so important to be able to have those people, because they are, shall we say, the stars of tomorrow, and I feel they're now the stars of today. To help show you how much of an influence, I would like all those members of the band that are students or former students of Mr. Deming and Mr. Vanderveer to please stand up. Thank you. And once again, I would also not want to forget our guest composer for being able to do the world premiere, Eric Schroeder. Thank you once again for letting us do the premiere of Make Room for Joy. It was truly our joy to be able to perform that for you. And I would also like to thank Sarah Beth Q. She's been our Master of Ceremonies this year, and I just so much enjoy hearing her insightful information that she gives us. It also gives us a chance to breathe in between. Sarah Beth, on behalf of the band, I'd like to present a small token of our appreciation for you. If you can pass that back, please. Thank you, Sarah Beth. And last, but most certainly by far not the least, I want to thank our conductor, Mr. David Fitz. I remember when he came in here many moon ago, our former director said, I've done all I can with the band, you need to be taking it to the next level. Well, Dave, you've not only taken it to the level, but you've taken it far beyond that. Look at the showing of what you have here and what you have drawn. That says everything right there. Thank you very much, Dave, and as a small token of our appreciation, here's a small gift. Included some batteries for your baton in case they run out. Let's get back to the show.
No Christmas concert is complete without this piece, composed by Leroy Anderson, ironically created during a heat wave in July in 1946 and completed in 1948. The orchestral version was first recorded in 1949 by the Boston Pops Orchestra and was a hit record on the RCA Victor Red Seal. Tonight, you will hear the wind band arrangement, complete with the clippity-clop of horse hooves, the infamous horse whinny from the trumpet section, and other real-world sounds, as Anderson called them. I'm talking, of course, about Sleigh Ride. Before the band plays the last piece, we have just a couple more announcements, but I'll be quick. First, we want to thank all the people who made generous donations to our silent auction fundraiser. The auction closed after intermission, and during the second half of the concert, our auction elves were busy drawing the winning tickets. They made a list, they checked it twice. There will be handouts available to everyone after the concert in the auction area. Compare your ticket numbers to the winning ticket number on each item. Our auction elves will be standing at tables to check your winning tickets against the list, and they'll bring you your item, or if you're super lucky, items, for your convenience. Thank you to everyone who participated in our silent auction. And finally, Auld Lang Syne in Scottish dialect means old long since, or days gone by. Robert Burns said he took down the words as an old man sang them, but Burns is usually credited for the lyrics. The piece based on this tune was arranged by Charles Wiley, an oboe player and graduate of the University of Texas and the University of Colorado. The Legacy Band would like to thank everyone involved in today's performance and you, our audience, for your support. Holiday concerts are in abundance this time of year, and we appreciate that you chose to spend tonight at ours. We wish you a most restful and joyous holiday season.